Well, it's been another couple of weeks, guys, and I'm so sorry I've not posted any videos. Really haven't done a whole lot. Got up, gone to work, come home, drink a couple of beers, go to sleep, get up, do the same thing. Nothing's really changed a whole lot. Clean the garage. That's pretty a big feat. I'm standing beside a car that is in my garage. I'll show you this. Look at there, a van in my garage. And look, I got my new toolbox up there. My dad came over one day last week when I had a day off, and we just went to town in here. I mean, just cleaned it completely out. Moved my shelves over here. Still need to organize my jet ski parts. We kind of ran out of time, but let me step out here and show you how good this looks. Everything is organized. Still have my little red toolbox, which will go away soon enough, but really happy with how this turns out. We're planning on getting back into some jet skis or four-wheelers or something like that soon, so we'll mess with it then. Now, the main reason why I'm making this video tonight is we have a problem with the boat. Nothing serious, I hope, but I'll show it to you in a second. Now, you notice it's getting dark. It's Friday night, and we're supposed to be on the lake tomorrow early with some friends. And I went out there and pulled the boat out, started running it, and the water pump's leaking from the weep hole in the front. So I rushed out to our distributor, and I got me a new water pump. So I've been getting this one off, and I'm gonna kind of show you how it works and how you're supposed to get it off, so that way you can do it yourself, because it's really not that hard. Everybody kind of worries about working on an engine. They're thinking it's going to be super hard, and you know, they got to hire somebody to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to do it. It's no big deal. So I'll show you here in a second. But it's these are the used boat blues, is what we call them. Now, once you get a boat, you got to kind of get through all the little stupid things that are going to, you know, keep you down. And they're nickel and diming us right now, but you know what? We'll get through them this season, and the next season we won't have to worry about it. So let me show you the water pump. Okay. I apologize if this is a little dark, but it's getting dark here, and I hope I can get this done in time. Anyway, here's your water pump. I've already taken the belts off of it. All you do is you loosen the power steering pump and the alternator. Now, this is for a 7.4 liter big block. Real similar for a small block or any other motor. This one had 4 bolts on either side, and you loosen up your hose clamps. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. And what I do to keep my bolts in place, because there's 4, I put the one that went on top here, the one that went on the bottom here, just so that way I don't forget it. So anyway, this is loose, and a whole bunch of water leaked out in the bilge. I'm going to take this thing off, and we'll go get the other one and see the difference. All right, what I meant by weep hole is behind this. There is a little hole, and what happens is the water leaks out of it when these things wear out. And I saw it dripping down on here, and it was spraying onto the hose and collecting in the bilge. That tells you your water pump is bad. Now, before you do any swapping out, you've got to get the pulley off of the water pump. Best way I found to do this is with my trusty impact wrench, because otherwise this thing wants to spin like this, and this thing impacts them out really quickly. See, there's one. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. All right. See, if you try to do this with just a regular wrench, it doesn't work so well. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go pick up the other one. And I've got to run up to AutoZone and get some, what do you call it, RTV silicone and some gaskets. For some reason, mine did not come with gaskets, so it may be dark when I get back, but we'll try to do this. But as you can see, it's pretty simple. 4 bolts, you take this guy off, we're going to transfer this over, and then we'll put gaskets on here, put some RTV silicone, tighten it back up, put the belts back on, tighten the belts back up. Piece of cake, real easy. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is it's possibly going to have a heater core output on this other one that I have, and I don't have this plug to swap it back out, so I might have to get another plug from AutoZone also. So anyway, you know what? We're going to probably take this apart and see how bad it is on the inside. Wouldn't that be cool? Let me get this this pulley off, and we'll see what we can do. Well, it's Saturday morning. I ran into a little snafu last night when I was replacing the water pump. It was the wrong one. So After calling around this morning for an hour and a half, nobody had one. Not even we're in Dallas, anybody's got one of those things. They're all special order. Apparently, this water pump is just doesn't go out that often. So doing something I've always kind of preached against is using an automotive part on a boat. Now the water pump from a marine standpoint is stainless steel impeller and stainless steel backplate. After talking with several guys, they're saying no big deal, get back on the water. So what I did is I had to find the water pump that fits this 454 is from a 1970 Corvette. The one from trucks don't work because they're too thick. So this one's from a 1970 Corvette. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to change the backplate from the old one onto the new one, so that way it's stainless steel. It'll get us through this season perfectly fine. Actually, a few seasons. We don't go to salt water. It's just fresh water only. So this is perfectly fine in this instance, but you just can't use starters, you can't use alternators, you can't use anything that creates fire on an engine because it's against Coast Guard rules. So this will be all right for right now. It'll get us through, get us back on the water today. We've got some friends coming back out. Hopefully we don't have another problem. As you can see, we have the old one and the new one. Very similar. All we have to do is we have to transfer over this nipple to here, and then we've got to put a cap in this one, which this water pump from AutoZone came with one. Where is it? So all we got to do is drop that sucker down in there, and then we'll take some gasket maker, put this on the engine. Shouldn't take us but about 5 or 10 minutes. As you can see, all I did was take the stainless plate off the old one and put it on the new one, and put it down with a new gasket. Pretty simple. Tighten it down till it's tight. Now we're going to go over here and put the pulley back on, which these things have markings for several different types of pulleys. So what you want to do, put it on here like this. Try to get it lined up to there we go, first shot. I love that. And just put our bolts in here. You never want to use an impact wrench to actually run bolts in. You always want to start them in finger tight. And I'll use the impact wrench to tighten them up to get them nice and tight, because it's so hard to hold one of these things steady while you're trying to tighten it up. Alright. Oh, and I also cleaned the back side of that stainless plate with my air grinder and a little polish wheel. So that way you get any of the gasket material off. You don't ever want to put things down on an old gasket surface. All right, now I need to get this off of here. Put on my impact wrench. Make sure it's in forward. Yep. So what I'm going to do is put it on here. Alright, that's it. That's all I got to do. Now we're going to head into the boat and hook this sucker up. Well, what I've done is I've cleaned up the mating surfaces with a little bit of Scotch-Brite, make sure all the extra gasket is off. Now all we do is we take our new gaskets and we put a little bit of gasket sealant on this surface, and then we put these on like that. And what that does is act a little bit of glue, and also provides a really, really good seal. So I'm going to throw those on real quick, and we'll mount this water pump up, see if we can get this thing fired up and back on the lake. I've got this kind of somewhat put in with the 2 top bolts. Make sure you get the little hose, the between hose right here put on. What you want to also do is make sure you put thread sealant. I use Permatex high temperature thread sealant on these because they protrude into the water jackets. If you don't do this, you'll get leaks around your bolts. So I'll put some on there, slid those in. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm just going to put some thread sealant on here, on both of them. And then we'll just run those in the bottom. Make sure you get your gasket, make sure it hasn't flipped out either side. And you got a good seal, and tighten them on down. I forget what the torque rating is. I'll go look it up. I think it's 20 or 25 or something like that. I don't remember. We'll put all these hoses back on, see how she runs. We're ready for We're ready for fire off. It's already 102 degrees out here. It's only 10 o'clock. It's hot, but we're good. Got both the belts back on, all the hoses tightened nicely. See if this isn't gonna hold water this time. Go hook up the hose. Here we go. No water yet. There we go. Got good amounts of water. Now the question is, are we leaking in here? What it was doing is, it was coming out of the weed pole, falling on the harmonic balancer, and then spraying over here. So we're gonna let it run for a while. Make sure we don't have any leaks. So far, so good. It looked like this hose was condensating yesterday, and I was like, what in the world is that? And it turned out to be water. So I'm gonna let this run for a while. This is also quieter. That thing was making noise. It's a lot quieter. All right, I'm gonna let it run for a while, but this, guys, is how easy it is to change a water pump. Probably about an hour's time. That's about it. I'm going to the lake.